Developments at this hour from across the nation and around the world over the next 60 minutes. And well, we begin this segment with the Operation Ajay, which has been a success till now, which is the Indian government has launched Operation Ajay to repatriate Indians who were stranded in Israel. And the first flight carrying 212 Indians from the conflict zone landed in Delhi today around 6 a.m. Now, Minister of State IT Rajiv Chandrasekhar received the evacuated Indians at the airport. Top Aviation Ministry source has informed CNN News 18 that the evacuation flights are carrying 2 sets of crew. The flights will be carrying extra pilots and technicians and engineers. In addition, there will be no layovers for the crew members. These flights will be operational till the 18th of October, and decision to continue operating will only be taken on the basis of how many Indians are still stranded in the war-hit zone. Remember, as many as 18,000 Indians are stranded in Israel, with all commercial flights having been suspended from India.
It's obviously a difficult time for all those people in Israel who've been dragged into this conflict, innocent people. As you know, today is the first flight of Operation Vijay, and this is completely in keeping with our Prime Minister's vision, Prime Minister's determination that our government, his government, will never leave any Indian behind. Any Indian anywhere in the world that finds himself or herself in harm's way, our government, our Prime Minister is determined to protect them, bring them back home safely, and I'm very glad this plane load of students and Indians have managed to fly back safely.
After the barbaric attack that was launched by Hamas into Israel, both Israel and Palestine are into a state of war, and today, this day is very important because after India launched Operation Ajay, this is the time when the very first special flight carrying Indian passengers is arriving here in Delhi. I'm showing you the visuals from Terminal 3. This is the same gate from where we are expecting the passengers, in fact the Indian citizens, to come out of this particular airport. This day is very important because this is the very first flight that is coming. 212 is the number that is given by the Ministry of External Affairs, and the total 212 passengers are going to land here in the national capital, and we're waiting for them, and we'll try to talk to them as to what is the ground situation in Israel as of now, and as far as the whole condition is concerned, so what they think about this condition. I'm joined by Deepak, who has just arrived here in Delhi from Israel, and he boarded probably the special flight, first flight. So you tell me, first of all, what is the condition there?
This is condition there is like not so good, I would say, and I don't know how it will happen in coming days. So that's the good step by government to evacuate us as soon as possible.
You were staying in which part, if I can ask?
I stay near Tel Aviv, that is in the center. So I stay in central Israel.
You know, we heard of this barbaric attack that was launched by Hamas. You know, if you can describe the situation in Tel Aviv specifically.
Well, that day, it happened on Saturday, so we were just sleeping. In my part, it was just siren because the attack was mostly in the southern part. So, yeah, we were staying in the shelter for 3 hours. Just waking up in the morning and going to shelter. Yeah.
And what about the tickets? Because they are saying that you don't have to pay anything. Government is paying all the expenses. Is it like that?
Yeah. This ticket is free, and we got. You can see lots of food in the flight also, and here also.
Are you going back? If you are you going to be back in Israel?
Yes, I will go back definitely. I will go definitely.
We know about the kind of attack that was launched on Israel, and if you can tell us the situation there. Also, what happened on that day, if you can, just explain and describe the kind of surrounding that you had on that day.
Okay, I will keep it very short. The thing is that when we woke up on Saturday morning, there was a lot of siren and there was missiles. Especially in Jerusalem, we didn't see any bombs or a huge attack, but in the southern part of Israel, there was a huge attack, and of course, lots of Israeli people were killed and taken hostage. Anyway, we revived from that gradually, but at the same time, because the Israeli government has declared a war, So there was a lot of confusion and lot of anxiety, like for us, for the Indian students, that what we would do. And we are really grateful to the Ministry of External Affairs, Prime Minister of India, and also to Jai Shankar sir for arranging everything for us and making this operation a very successful thing for the entire evacuation process. Yeah.
सिचुएशन मिक्स्ड है, मैं बोलूँगी ऐसे नहीं है कि लाइक बट खतरनाक होते जा रही है, बट इजराइल इज टेकिंग केयर ऑफ इट इन प्रॉपर सेंस टू मेक एवरीथिंग बैलेंस.
आई एम कमिंग फ्रॉम टेल अवीव and the situation in Tel Aviv is not too bad as compared to the south or to the north, but it's still scary.
So basically अटैक स्टार्ट हुए थे सैटरडे को 6:30 AM से. हाँ, हमारे फोन एंड आउटसाइड में रॉकेट सायरन का अलर्ट आता है 6:30 AM पे, और हम लोग को अराउंड 90 सेकेंड मिलता है शेल्टर पे जाने के लिए. और उसके बाद से लेकर अभी तक एवरीडे अराउंड 4 to 5 सायरन्स हम लोग को सुनने को मिलता है. और मोस्ट ऑफ द सायरन्स जो रॉकेट के होते हैं वो मोस्टली आयरन डोम से इंटरसेप्ट हो जाते हैं. तो हम लोग को शेल्टर में बस उसके इंटरसेप्ट होने की आवाज़ सुनाई देती है.
Well, as we speak of Operation Ajay, let's take a deeper dive into the backdrop of the situation where it's developed. That is the Israel-Hamas war. The Israel-Hamas war enters its 7th day today, with the number of casualties continuing to rise. Now, in the Gaza Strip, the humanitarian crisis has worsened with regards to the power plant being exhausted and the fuel supply being exhausted as well. Now, there is a likelihood that the fuel could run out anytime soon, is what is being anticipated. Bombardment continued in the city, which resulted in severe destruction of the houses and killed hundreds. Now, the Gaza harbour was bombed on Thursday, due to which the entire area was engulfed in smoke and haze. Meanwhile, after ISIS flags were found near Hamas attack sites, Israel says that it is looking at possible links between the ISIS and the Hamas. Now, Israel is adamant on inflicting pain to members of the Hamas and says gone are the days for dialogue and negotiation. Now, the US Secretary of State Antony Blinken has pledged in Tel Aviv on Thursday that Israel will never have to defend itself alone for as long as America exists. Now, we have some reactions on this. Let's first have a look into that.
I think we've been very clear that we see this as a terrorist attack. But on the designation part, the relevant authorities are best placed to respond to it. How do we see the situation on Palestine, or our position on that? Our policy in this regard has been long-standing and consistent. India has always advocated the resumption of direct negotiations towards establishing a sovereign, independent and viable state of Palestine, living within secure and recognized borders, side by side, at peace with Israel. And I think that position remains the same.